Alrighty. Hello and welcome, everyone. Great to see you all here today. Yeah, most of you who are here on my channel already know me. My name is Frida. I am 33 years old, turning 34 this year. And I have a personal history of tinnitus and hearing loss. So I was born deaf on my left ear, and I have tinnitus and a hearing aid I can show you in my right ear, and that for over 15 years now, by now. And I have decided, since it's the year 2024, that we are starting with some new formats on this channel. And among the formats, not only the live coaching sessions that I do, that you can check out. I've already shared two. I've shared the live coaching and the discussion that I had with Michelle. Michelle was a coaching client that I worked with for quite a while. And Michelle actually shared her success story with tinnitus with us. So that's something that's here on my channel. On the other hand, we have a great series of these kind of interviews coming up with Scott and Carl, members of our online coaching program. And the third thing that I want to do is, of course, I want to be talking to you guys live a little bit more often here on YouTube. So you get a little bit more access and knowledge to everything that I do, not only as a tinnitus coach, but also what I experience in my personal journey with tinnitus and hearing loss and single-sided deafness. Because I think it could be valuable for some of you out there to just hear what I have to say about dealing with tinnitus and hearing loss, and having found a science-based approach on habituating to tinnitus and learning to put tinnitus into the background to a place where it stops bothering us. And I think if I can just share at least some of that with as many of you out there on these platforms like YouTube, then you guys will be off to a good and positive start, and can then decide whether whatever I share is something that is valuable to you and whether you want to pursue that more. Because of course, the more in depth you go with all the resources that we have, not only on the channel but also namely the science-based coaching program, etc., the more you understand these concepts, the more you can learn that a life not worrying about tinnitus and just going about your life, not suffering from tinnitus, experiencing but not suffering it, is absolutely and 100% possible. And the more you do that, the more your brain starts recategorizing your tinnitus, right? And the more your brain recategorizes tinnitus, the more, in fact, your tinnitus stops bothering you, because your brain starts to understand that it's not something that we constantly need to be focusing on, which is what people then relate to as habituation. And of course, often that happens over a long period of time quite naturally. But there are a lot of things that we can do to support the brain to be able to do that, right? To not say like, okay, well, you just have to wait for months or years until you eventually automatically habituate. And uh, in the time in between, you'll be struggling and things are going to be really difficult. Of course, if we can, and I've worked with close to 500 people by now, if we can just help one person step by step get better with their tinnitus, understand the concepts that I have developed over the years with all these people together, then we can get to a better place, to an understanding of, you don't need to, as an audiologist or ENT, to say, well, do some sound therapy with $3,000 hearing aid maskers, and that's all we can do for you. But we can do something different. We can start teaching you the right strategies for your brain to start recategorizing your tinnitus as it would naturally anyways over a longer period of time, right? And that's like not really a secret sauce, right? It's just continuous practice. And that's, for example, why we have the 30-day challenge inside our online program right now. So the 30-day challenge is not designed for people to be habituated after 30 days. Of course not. But it's designed to bring you the habits that you need to adopt in order for your brain over a longer period of time to naturally habituate, right? And to do that quicker as if you didn't build these kind of habits. In the same way that if you build a 30-day fitness challenge in January, then you can't expect that after 30 days you're going to be ripped and going to your beach holiday if before you're a little bit of a chubby person, right? You can't expect in 30 days to be ripped and to be done with everything. But what you can do in 30 days is teach yourself the right habits that you need to get into to develop into that person. And I've recommended this to all the people inside the club that they read James Clear, Atomic Habits, for example, in conjunction with the 30-day challenge that we have, to say like, okay, what is the smallest possible thing that I can do to build a behavior towards my tinnitus? Because I know that that is possible. That helps my brain understand tinnitus as a benign body sensation rather than this thing that it constantly needs to struggle against, building patterns of insomnia or severe anxiety or uh, depressed episodes, right? Of depressed mood, etc. So, I think like if I can share everything that I've learned over the past few years and make that more visible to you guys out there, because all the people who are inside the program, they know it, right? They've seen it, they enjoy it, they do it, they use it. But if it's not visible enough, then not enough people benefit from it, right? And that's something that I want to devote much more time to this year. And that's why I think it's going to be super cool to have all these little live streams that I want to share with you, so you guys can get to know Frida a little bit better, at least on with regards to tinnitus, and the program that we do, but also these live coachings that I do with. I did one last week with a really cool guy from Texas. The week before, I did one with Scott from the UK, and they're all going to be on my channel soon. So I'm going to upload them, and I hope that you guys get a tremendous value out of these 30 minutes coaching sessions about how people see tinnitus. The first guy, Malcolm, he's very new in his tinnitus journey, and he was very anxious about everything, about the visit to the audiologist and the hearing aids and everything. And the second guy, Scott, he's had tinnitus for years, and he's also in our club for a longer period of time, so he felt like he got stuck. So you see, like, we try to have people from all walks of tinnitus in these little interviews, and then sometimes, if you want to bear with me, I will do these live streams as well, where I just sit here in my office, talking about The Office. There's the Christmas edition of the US Office comedy show. I love that. The US version of The Office, amazing. My absolute favorite show. There you see, talking about The Office. No, so if you bear with me, I will do more of these live streams where I talk a little bit about my personal experience with tinnitus, but also about the program that we've created, the coachings that we do, and then apart from that, the format that you can expect to see much more on this channel is these live coaching sessions. And in these live coaching sessions, there's always a link underneath as well. If you guys want to, I can leave it under this live stream as well, that you can get these live coaching sessions for free. So I've seen this other YouTubers in business and stuff like that do that as well. So sort of like giving a live business call, and I want to give a live coaching call, and that's going to be absolutely for free, a 30 minutes coaching call to help you with your tinnitus situation for free. But on the exchange is that I'm allowed to share it with the world, and that you guys all out there who subscribe to this channel, but also people who watch for advice on YouTube on how to get better with their tinnitus, are also able to benefit from it. And I think that could turn into a win-win-win-win situation. So the first win is for, of course, the person who gets the coaching, because you get very tailored advice from someone who's been working with people with tinnitus for 5 years. The second one is all the people out there get to see what I share with that person, and how you can start to address tinnitus in a much more useful way. And the third one is that we get the exposure for, of course, the program and everything that we do. And the fourth one is that all the people inside our club, so the online habituation program that we have created, they love this stuff as well. So I've had a lot of feedback inside the club to say like, hey, why don't you do this more often? Like, just give out these free coaching sessions and then share them with the world afterwards, so that everyone can finally see the tremendous value that you provide for everyone in there. Because yes, that is the thing, right? Like, I've built this program, I'm working with the people individually, but I don't really have enough time to go live on YouTube as much and share all this stuff on social media. And I know that what we do is amazing and that we bring tremendous value and that a lot of people really benefit from everything that we do in the tinnitus coaching and in the online program. But it just feels like maybe sometimes it's difficult for the world to get a grasp on that. Therefore, I thought, okay, what are the platforms? What are the ways for me to really get out there, to really be more, really be more visible and to help more people with tinnitus? And I think YouTube is quite a cool platform for that because, of course, like when you see me as a person. I mean, you see me in my office. You, of course, don't know me that much apart from everything that I share about tinnitus. But one of the goals is that you see me and you don't only listen to the podcast that I have, but you actually get to see me. And I have no problem also on my podcast. You know that the people who are listening to the podcast, they know I have no problem sharing also all the difficulties that I had with my tinnitus and sharing these stories. Like when I was 3 years old, my mom discovered that my one ear was deaf because she always put the telephone on my left ear. And when I was supposed to talk to my granny, and she put the telephone on my left ear and was like, Frida, your granny's on the phone. Put it on your ear. And then I was like, but mom, I don't hear on that. And she's like, what? You don't hear on that one? And then she took me to the doctor. And for me as a 3-year-old, it was like totally normal not to be able to hear on my left ear. So I was like, Mom, but you don't hear on the left ear. And she was like, what do you mean you don't hear on the left ear? So for me, it was like totally normal that you wouldn't be able to hear out of your left ear. And then only later, of course, I got the difficulty with a tinnitus and losing my hearing to the extent that I got the hearing aid as well. But that's just like a funny little story, I think, which it makes it easier to relate to everything that I've been experiencing in my hearing loss and tinnitus journey over the last 15 years. Or I've had videos on my channel where I talked about the difficult experience of traveling with going through a massive increase of your tinnitus and the anxiety that comes with it, and the not sleeping and the anxiety of being in a loud place. At that time it was Istanbul. So I have some videos on my channel about that. And it's just that in these lives, I think maybe I can share a few more of these stories, just like little anecdotes, maybe inspire you guys to be a little bit less anxious about everything, and to really know that this is not something that happens to you in an isolated way, but it's something that happens to millions of people out there in the planet. And that unfortunately it's a super common condition that is quite difficult to treat, just purely of the nature of tinnitus, right? Just the physiological nature of tinnitus, why it is so incredibly difficult to treat. There is a lot of research going on. You guys know that I'm also often and very much connected with the researchers, not only here in Berlin at the university hospital, but also with the tinnitus clinics in the south of Germany. And they're doing a lot of research, and they're actually also very interested sometimes in my program and ask me, can't you do evaluations with the clients? And I'm like, nope, I'm not going into this thing, because I don't want to. I don't want to get too involved into the science stuff. I want to do my work. I want to work with people with tinnitus. I want to do that. And my most important thing is that I don't have time to send around evaluation forms and try to be scientific about it. Eventually, maybe in the future, but not right now. My biggest goal is to just help and support as many people as possible, and do that in the best way that I can. Do it in the way in which I've learned to do it over the past 5 years. Um, and yeah, the purpose is to go out there, to tell more people about everything that I found out in the last couple of years, interviewing so many people, scientists, talking with so many people who've actually experienced their tinnitus. And yeah, so I will have to end the live stream soon, because I will have a coaching session coming up with a person from the US, probably very early in the morning for them. So I will bear with them that they might still have some coffee and be tired. But I will have to end this live stream soon. But you can expect a lot more of these live streams. A, and B, if you do want to get benefit from these one-on-one coaching sessions, then you can either find that under all of these other videos. For example, under the video with Carl that I shared last Friday, or under the video with Michelle that I shared 2 weeks on Friday ago. So usually we'll always have one of these videos come out on Friday. And that's my intention, to keep that pace. I hope I can do it with all the coachings and all the stuff that we've got going on in the program. But I'm confident. I want to keep up the pace because I want to keep up the pace for helping ever more people out there in the world with tinnitus. And I know there are so many people who need this support. And I can just personally so much relate to all this difficulty because I've been exactly in these places as well. And I've worked with so many people who have. So that I will try my utmost and my best without burning out to give you as much value as I can in the next year here on YouTube and on all my other channels and inside our program. But we'll make it step by step. We'll be able to share more with you. Thank you for tuning in. For those people who are watching live, thank you for those people who are tuning in and watching at a different time afterwards. Very, very excited. Check out the links in the videos that I share if you want one of these 30-minute coaching sessions, free consultations with me, and then we'll share it with the world and hopefully be very, very beneficial for you and the world. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, I have to leave right now, but you can watch the recording of this live session. It's about 15 minutes right now on the channel afterwards. Because I have a coaching session coming up in 10 minutes and I'm going to make myself a quick coffee. But thank you guys for tuning in. From my heart to yours, know that tinnitus is not a life sentence. We will help you with all the material that we have to habituate to your tinnitus. We have done it with so many people out there in the world. We will be able to help you too. And here through YouTube, I think this is a good platform to do this. So thank you guys. I hope you all have a great week. It's my pleasure to be talking to you here. And I wish you all the best, guys. All right. See you very soon, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.